Hello, everyone. Hello. How are you doing today? Welcome to today's session. Give me 1 minute. I'll be back briefly. Okay, good evening. How are you doing? What have your experience been over the last 4 days? Today is the fifth day. So let us know on the comment section or send me a DM. Let's know what you have taken away since we started. This is Disruptive Parenting Summit 2022, and this is the very first edition. My name is Amaka. I'm privileged to be the host of the Disruptive Parenting Summit. I'm also the author of the Disruptive Parenting book. I'm a family life practitioner, I'm NLP practitioner. I'm a mental health therapist, and I'm committed to children. Right? My name is Amaka Omo-Oikeh. My friends call me, not just my friends, really. In recent times, the work we are doing with the disruptive parenting movement and earned me the name the celebrity author. I'm glad to have you here this evening. And today is the fifth day. We are going all the way to 30 days, and we're sharing different aspects of parenting. All right, myself and several other professionals, masterminds who have gained and learned and are still doing great work in the family life space, who are working with children, will be helping us to understand our children better. The goal is to ensure that every child that we encounter is made a champion, and every kid becomes a kid. Every kid becomes a king. There is a king in every child that you meet. So we are not just about living with children and letting them grow under our roof. No, we are about ensuring that those kids turn out as kings. Right? To that extent, I welcome you to today's session of the 30 days disruptive parenting journey. If you are on YouTube, please help us to like the page, drop your comment, make sure you turn on your notification bell so that every time we come on within these 30 days and afterwards, you would be notified. All right, please also subscribe and get your friends to do so as well. Today, I will be sharing with us from the Disruptive Parenting book. That's the book. Or I hope I'm not blocking my face with the book, but that's the book, the Disruptive Parenting book. Right? Today, as I thought about what to share with us today, I thought to do some kind of book review, but I will share one of the things that I wrote in one of the chapters. And so I'll be sharing with us today, favoritism is a dangerous pathway in parenting. Favoritism is a dangerous pathway in parenting. Over the years, working with children, cumulatively working in the family life space for nearly 30 years. Yes, I became a parent. Life made me a parent at 10. And so eventually I grew up and then got knowledge, got certifications, and also began to do the work. And so I have a whole lot of experiences. I started really early, and just helping children is one of the things that I'm about. I'm also a nation builder, and I trust that if the next generation is going to do better than what we have now, then we must pay attention to the next generation. All right. So I'm one of those people who believe that the next generation, our children, are actually the hope of Nigeria, the hope of Africa. I don't know where you live, but if there's anything you can see in governance that you do not like where you live, that means you must do something, we must do something collectively. That's why we have gathered all these masterminds to join us on this journey. Because part of the things that we believe in is community parenting reengineering. Part of the things that we are about is community parenting reengineering, because no child is safe until every child is safe. No child is secured until every child is secured. So you might say, my child is not living in this city, is attending a better school and all of those. Hey, but eventually they will come back and be led. If you are in Nigeria, for instance, in recent times, where we have practically the worst leading the best. So after you have gone to Cambridge or gone to whichever hybrid school and you're back, what next? What next? That's why it's important that we make sure that we groom the children and we give them, empower them, so that we don't have the some kind of the kidnapping, and then the people who are not enlightened are begging the kidnappers with their money to let them live a life and get a breathing space. Okay, so that's why it's important that we pay attention to every child. The next generation must do better. That's why we're doing what we're doing today. Okay, so that said, today I'm going to be sharing from my book, the Disruptive Parenting book, and I'll be sharing favoritism is a dangerous pathway in parenting. Personally, I think that everywhere you see child siblings rivalry, it is engineered by parents. Every family where you see or you observe siblings rivalry is engineered by parents. The root is usually favoritism from parents. Immediately a child notices that you prefer him or her to the other, or immediately you have 3 children, or you have 4, or you have 2. One just feels that mommy likes XYZ more than me. You have set your children against themselves. I share this quick story with you. I'm not going to mention them, but believe me, it is true life story. This story that I'm going to share with you right now is to people who I call family to a very large extent. And I say family, blood. All right. This man had 7 children, 6 of which are boys. Or should I say were boys, because they're no longer 6 now. All right. And a girl. So for some strange reason, this man began to tilt towards his second son. You might not even blame him too much, because the second son appeared as though he's the one who was always available. He was always available. I don't know why my light goes off and on, but I hope you're seeing me. All right. So this man rather, with his 6 boys, he started gravitating and tilting towards his second son. You may not blame him. Why do I say that? Because this second son also appeared to always be available, appeared to be daddy's boy, follows him to everywhere he was going, helped him in the business, on the job, because he was his own CEO. So the young man was always available, even when he was done with school. He was taking care of his father. He was always around his father. And so they kind of bonded more than every other person. And the man could not handle it properly. So at one time, when that boy turned 21, the man brought him into the management of their organization. And that's where his problem started. Meanwhile, this organization, it was his wife that started it. This man was a banker. This man had was doing a good job, was in the managerial space, until one thing gave birth to another, and his company needed to downsize. And so they asked him to resign. In the space where we are, there is an honorable way of sacking somebody so they don't have a dent in your career. So he resigned, devastated, not knowing what to do and how to move on with his life. His wife, who was already running a successful business, stepped aside and allowed him to run her business. Together, they had built this organization into a multi-millionaire business. So this man, this father, didn't know how to manage the entire situation. So he allowed himself to be carried away, such that by the time this guy was turning 21, he brought him into managerial position and made him his next of kin. Then the other children got angry because they knew that it's their mother that owned the business in the first place. Why is mommy no longer your next of kin? And all of those. They didn't ask him because his communication link was not open. However, they started plotting against their own brother, their own flesh and blood. This thing I'm telling you right now happens in many families, except that in this place, in this particular scenario, this boy, this second son, eventually got murdered by his own brother. His brothers teamed up, got a hired assassin, and killed him. His parents did not even know how the source of their son's death until about 3 months thereabouts, after the police thorough investigation. They eventually came to the point, because all fingers were pointing against his brothers. Why? Maybe it's because of the case of Esau, I love, Jacob, I hate. So in the case of Esau and Jacob, the mother loved Jacob, the father loved Esau. Okay? Esau was about getting things that the father can touch. Jacob was just a homeboy. Remember that the word had already gone ahead concerning Jacob. What their parents just needed to do was, now that I understand the destiny of these children, they would have just groomed them to say, you are a frontliner in this family, and this person is your brother. Whatever you're doing, know that you are brothers. You are the same flesh and blood. But it didn't occur like that. Parents must pay attention and be careful about tilting towards one child. Sometimes it's because the child is bright in school, and so they call names to the one who is not coming first and taking the second position. All right. At other times, it's because this one is always helping out at home, so the other one is time lazy. Many times, parents do not even pay attention to personality types of each child, to what they value or what they do not value, who they are, understanding each child, understanding what each child is about, and helping to tailor each one of them in the path that they should go. Like the Bible will say, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. So it is critical, it is important that whatever you do as a parent, intentionally make sure that your children, you do not set your family against itself. You do not set your family against each other. You do not set your children against themselves and allow your children to go and destroy themselves. It is usually the parents in their lives. Most times it's not the children. The children are like sponge. What is soaking is what they give up. All right? It's a dangerous thing to make one child feel better than the other, or to make one child feel lesser than the other. Everybody is unique. Everybody is important. Everybody was sent by God. Every child is a gift from God, made in the image and likeness of God. Every child has brought a solution. Like I will tell them, they are global solution providers. So the person who is probably tilted towards helping us in the kitchen, it may be, I'm just seeing an example, that one may turn out as a shelf. So it doesn't mean that the one who is an engineer or who is tilted towards using the wires at home, connecting things, will no longer have a breathing space. It doesn't also mean that the one who doesn't even want to do any one of those things will just want to sit down and read. It doesn't mean that somebody to become a professor has become an issue because the person is not doing what the other person is doing. Everybody is unique. Everybody is different. Everybody has brought a solution to the world. Do not set your children against themselves. Do not become your own family's enemies. All right? It's a dangerous place to be. A very dangerous place to be. How do you cope such things? Intentionally discover what a child is sent to do. Prayerfully, seek the face of God. If you are going to train up a child in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it, then you must train up that child in line with what they are born to do, in line with what they are created to do. And it's not what you think they should be doing, it's usually what God has sent them to do. What has each child come to do here on earth? What have they been sent to do? What have they been sent to do? If you discover any of those things, your parenting will be easy. Your parenting journey will be easy. All right? I will not be able to tell you this is what this child is sent to be or that one until I work with any one of them or each one of them. So also, you would have to intentionally look out for, see what they are tilted towards, see what they are gravitating towards, see what interests them, and expose them. Many times, children do not do too much if they're not exposed. It is when you expose them, they will be inspired. As a point of inspiration, they will begin to gravitate towards what they are sent to do, and it will help you discover who they are. All right? So please, parents, it's a dangerous pathway. The full story is here in my book. You will need to look at it. You will need to, if you have not bought your own copy, oh my, that's it. Favoritism, a dangerous route in parenting. I hope you're saying it, right? Please, if you are already caught up in it, this is the time to retrace your step. If you might need to approach each child one-on-one and ask them to forgive you, and ask them for a space. Tell them that you need an opportunity to right the wrongs. Let them know that I apologize, the rain just started falling. All right? So please, let them know that you are sorry, that now that you have knowledge, you want to right your wrongs. You want to right your wrongs, that they should give you the opportunity to do that, to be their father, the father they desire, and the mother that they desire. That way, you are able to do what you have to do to right your wrongs. But in all, make sure that obviously, it's also a sign of self-control. You cannot obviously make somebody feel less in a home that is supposed to be the best place where he or she is supposed to be protected, where the interest of that boy or that girl must be protected. It's a dangerous place to be. You will damage your self-worth if you do that. You will send in the message of rejection, which is very dangerous if you do that. You might push your children out of the home to begin to seek help from places where there will be hurt. I want you to take this one and work on the same. Favoritism is a dangerous pathway disease. Okay, that will be it for today. Thank you very much for joining. We'll be back here tomorrow, and we'll be hosting an incredible guest tomorrow. If you're not on the Telegram group, yes, please join the Telegram group because I'm going to share the updates there. All right. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.